Here's how I turned myself into a voice assistant AI with under 100 lines of Python. And if you haven't seen my previous video, please check that out to see this in action. So here in main, we have an infinite loop that does four things. There's the listener function that continuously listens for audio, and then if that records any talking, we transcribe that text, pass it into ChatGPT via the API, and then stream that response back directly into the ElevenLabs text-to-speech API. I'll go through these in each in more detail. So this function here is the listener. And what it does is it opens a stream, continuously taking input from the microphone, and as long as the volume of the stream stays above a certain threshold, like the loudness of my voice talking at 300 here, it increments this talking counter, and if not, it increments the silence counter. Once it records 70 frames of silence in a row, so that's a pause of about 1 second, it breaks the loop, and then checks that it didn't just record background noise, and closes the stream, saves the file, and yields the file name back to main. Transcribing the audio is dead simple. We literally just call the Whisper API and we're done. I did try a few things to reduce the latency on this, but none of them worked, and the out-of-the-box solution turns out to be pretty good. So then I passed the transcribed audio into the ChatGPT API. I've got a system prompt in there telling it to behave like an assistant. And here the clever part is that I return this as a stream, so it yields each word as it's generated rather than waiting for the whole response to complete. I can then take advantage of the ElevenLabs stream function, which again turns text into speech as it's being generated. Doing it this way cuts the response latency, so the time between I stop speaking and the AI starts speaking, down from a minute to like maybe 7 or 8 seconds. That's the only bit that's kind of faked in the last videos. I sped up those pauses because you guys have the attention span of a hyperactive toddler, but I didn't want to take them out entirely because I thought they would make the whole thing feel a bit cheap, feel more edited. I made the voice using ElevenLabs voice cloning feature. It does struggle a little bit with my Kiwi accent, so it comes out sounding like an American version of me, which is why I threw on that crappy American accent in the last video to just kind of sell it. Okay, so here's it working in real time. Explain why people should subscribe to me on YouTube in under 30 words.
Subscribing to you on YouTube ensures access to your content, supporting your channel's growth, and keeping up with your latest videos.
I'm sure this is like nowhere near the best possible implementation of this idea, and I'm probably not even the first person to do this, but I literally threw this together in like an hour and a half. Feel free to comment if you can think of ways to get the latency down even further.